So we're going to use a couple subset libraries that Unity has, which is kind of what these things are right here. Similar to the Unity Engine UI, we are going to need to import these libraries, and it is the Unity Engine Scene Management. And what this allows us to do is it allows us to give access to the Scene Manager object, and that allows us to load the levels and do different things like that. So when we click our button, what we're going to do is we need a method in this coding to call to load our level. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to erase this comment here and recall the start method to something called load level. And in this load level, what I'm going to do is I want it, instead of making multiple levels, multiple methods to load each level individually, I can make this universal method here and send it a text object of the name of the level that I want to load. So load level needs a parameter that we're going to send it, which is a string variable called level. So if I want it to open up Pong, I'm going to put in quotes Pong and send it to that. So you need to take this level string variable and use the scene manager. Now notice how it's auto trying to load scene management. You are not to load the scene management, but you want to use what they call the scene manager, because the scene management's loaded. It's the scene manager object that we want to access. And so we need to say scene manager dot, and we're going to say call the method load scene. And in these parentheses here that we need to add, we need to tell it what scene to load. And in our case, it's this level variable, which is the string name of the level that we want to load. So that will take care of our first 4 buttons. Our 5th button, though, is a quit button. So while I could kind of do some extra coding in here, I'm just going to simply make another method called quit and call the method application.quit. Easy enough. You can go ahead and save this. We can pop over to Unity. Make sure you don't have any errors. And then take this script, and usually, like I said, you'll have some kind of game controller or something in your scene as a separate game object. In this case, I really don't. So what I'm going to do is just go to the main camera and drag out the level loader script, because we need the level loader script just attached to any kind of game object somewhere in the scene. So that way then we can go to Pong, example, the Pong button, hit the plus to say runtime only. It's looking for a connection to a game object. Well, the game object is just my main camera. So I need to drag and connect the main camera. Then I can click this no function. And as you can see, it's going to look at the main camera and see what components or script objects are attached. And of course, what is attached to the main camera? Transform, camera, flare, audio, level loader. So under here, when I look at the function, I have transform, camera, flare, audio, and of course level loader. And when I can come into here, you can look for that method that we created. But it is not there. Why is it not there? Well, it's because I didn't make it public. Again, a public class or a public variable makes it public. So let's go ahead and back in and add the word public to public void load level and public void quit. Save that. Come over here. Let Unity do its little, and you can actually notice there's a spindle down there. And now go to level loader, and I can find both load level and quit. Now look at load level. It says it's looking for a string variable. And where do we want to input our string variable? Right below it. That's where we can send something to this load level method. That's exactly why we did that. So we don't need a separate variable. Our variables are all kind of built in, and it's right here. So since I'm on the Pong button, I want to load the Pong scene. Now, here's the catch. Whatever you named your scene as is the text, exactly how it's spelt, capitalization, everything. Just like we do in coding with tags, they matter. Okay? So I've noticed that I have Pong with a capital P, Breakout with a capital B, Invaders with an S on the end as plural and a capital I, and then Flappy Bird, both capital F and B. So you need to pay attention to all of those. Okay. Okay, and so if I go back to Pong button, I know that I can just type in the word Pong and it will load. Okay, and I'm going to go and do the same thing to Breakout. I'm going to connect the main camera, go to the functions, level loader, load string. Mine was spelt Breakout like that. Go to Space Invaders, go to the Space Invaders, again attach the main camera object, level loader, load level, and it was called Invaders. Click on the Flappy button, plus connect the main camera, level loader, load string, and Flappy Bird. Lastly, the exit button. Click, attach the main camera since it has my script on it, go to level loader, and grab the quit. Now notice the quit function doesn't have any extra text box because I didn't give it a parameter that it requires. So it should auto do it for me. I'm going to go ahead and save this scene since I haven't already and just call it main menu. And then as we hit play, we should be able to load the scenes. Hit Pong, but it doesn't load. Why doesn't it load? Well, you get this nice little error that pops up and it says, the scene Pong couldn't be loaded because it was not added to the build settings. Now, what are the build settings? File, build settings. The build settings is what you use to help build your game. We will look at this in a later video, but the more important thing is where this top little box is. It says Scenes in Build. This is where you can add all your scenes into the build, or even click the button to add open scenes, which in my case is main menu. So you can click the Add Open Scenes, or you can also simply drag in each scene that you need. So Breakout, Pong, Invaders, Flappy Bird. Now, the important part here is whatever level is at scene 0. Okay? This is the order counts only for depending on if you want things to load in a certain order. The scene at the top, which of course is my main menu, should be at scene 0, the first in line. Okay? This is going to be the first scene that loads. Now when I hit play, I should be able to hit Pong, and it loads Pong. Okay? I should be able to go to Breakout, Space Invaders, Flappy Bird, and it should start the game. Okay? And then you should be able to interact with it.